welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. With me today, as always, is my co-host, Troy Brittingham.
You're Jeff.
I am Jeff. And Troy, we are caught up, for now, on Star Wars The Acolyte.
Yeah, for like, what, 2 days?
No, about 2 hours, actually.
Sick.
They drop it at 9 p.m.
Nice.
On Tuesdays. Which, can I say something here? We're all adults now,
I think
right?
you said this
okay,
last episode.
cool. I fucking go to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock because I have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning for work. I have to go to work and make money to pay these Disney Plus subscriptions. So, fuck you, man.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I have not been going to sleep at a normal time because I've just been trying to grind the Elden Ring DLC, and I'm on the
loser.
I'm on the final boss, and I've been on the final boss for about 3 days now. It hasn't been good.
Is it pretty hard?
It's pretty hard.
Oh
It's
man.
pretty bad.
Anyway, TB&J. Alrighty, Rooster. Star Wars The Acolyte, Episode 5. Troy, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Did you call me a rooster?
I said, alrighty, Rooster.
I'm gonna go thumbs up.
I'm also thumbs up.
This show's suddenly good again. Yeah.
The show got really, really good, and this is the first time we've done a single episode review.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we've been doing them in pairs just because of the way our life lines up. So I hope 6 does not make me regret this decision. But I'm pretty thumbs up on this, honestly. Just the Sith guy who is unnamed, right? At least as of right now, right?
I know that the character he was playing has a name. I do not remember it off the top of my head, and I do not know.
What are the odds that's his real name?
Exactly.
Absolutely zero, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucking just slaughtering Jedi.
Yeah.
Playing unfair all the time.
Also, we can guarantee that one guy who's Plo Koon's race is not Plo Koon because
definitely not Plo Koon.
He is dead now.
he dead, man. Dude, so I think last episode we were both a little bit like lukewarm on the character design because at least from what I remember, keep in mind I'm an old man now. I remember shitting on him a little bit, thinking that Disney's trying to chase lightning in a bottle. They're trying to get that Darth Vader kind of silhouette or presence back.
A lot of people have been nicknaming this character Smilo Ren.
Ooh, I like that. Honestly, though, I really kind of dig the outfit.
I like it a lot.
I love the cloak with like the muscly arms exposed. It's very like Sleep Token-y. If anyone's listening who understands that, awesome. If not, go fucking listen to Sleep Token. They're amazing.
And I won't.
It's a metal band, but they also do like crazy, deep, like passionate songs with the piano and bits. And
they kill Jedi.
They all go on stage in costumes and masks, and they call themselves 1, 2, 3, 4, and the singer is Vessel because he is the vessel for the god Sleep. It's this whole big lore thing, and there's a bunch of TikTok girls who are way too deep, and they have parasocial relationships with the band. But I'm a normal person; I just enjoy the albums. Anyway,
well. You're not parasocial. I don't know if you're normal.
I did start a podcast in my house.
You have 2 podcasts.
Fuck. I have more than that.
Oh no.
Would you count the one where I make you eat stuff as a different show? It's published under the same banner, but it's very different.
It's like
content.
a mini thing. I don't know.
I want to cut that of you saying it's like a mini thing, and I want that to be like my tagline whenever I get undressed.
Well, all right.
It's a mini thing.
I don't know if I would. That seems like you're not hyping yourself up in the morning. Anyway, we should talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. I love the mask. I love the teeth. I love the no eyes. I love the cloak with the muscly arms. I love that the dude looks like he eats nothing but creatine and chicken breast all day, every day.
I like that if you told me like 2 days ago that there would be a bad guy who could headbutt lightsabers off, I'd go, that's really fucking stupid.
Yeah, what the fuck is that, dude?
I would say that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and then see it on screen and go, okay, it's kind of cool, actually, fuck.
Yeah. I feel like Star Wars' strong suit has always been fights and the fight choreography, but it kind of falls apart a little bit in the writing in between.
Sometimes it depends.
That seems to be a weaker spot for Star Wars as a genre.
There's nothing that can like ruin people hitting each other with big swingy glow sticks. Like it's
really hard to fuck that up.
Yeah, there's a reason that everybody in the world does like fake lightsaber fights from time to time.
Yeah, there's a reason like most kids have a lightsaber toy and they swing it around the house going like vroom vroom vroom. It's fun, it's cool, it's awesome. But seeing the Sith Lord kill every Jedi that was there except Sol, like I think every single knight and Padawan that was with Sol is dead. Right?
Yeah.
Yord and Jeki were the only two named aside from fucking Basil.
I am not. I'm very surprised that they killed Yord. I am incredibly surprised they killed Jackie.
Yeah,
that was the one that caught me more. That's what I said, right?
I thought you said Jackie.
No, Jackie.
Okay, cool. Yeah, fucking Jackie and Yord dying. I did not see it all. I think my prediction at the end of the last episode was all the unnames will die, all the named characters will stay for some reason or another, and it'll be like a rematch or something like that. No, everyone dies except Sol. And Sol apparently has, like, a dark secret about his past that he's hiding. And it's, like, a secret he maybe shared with Inara and Torben and Kalneka. Wow, I got all those master names off the top of my head. Go me.
Yeah.
And that's why they're being hunted down by the Sith Lord and May, his apprentice. Who, we kind of got a redemption last episode. But then in this episode, they kind of pulled the rug out. And they were like, nah, psych, we're not doing that.
Sure.
How do you feel about it?
I didn't like it at the time. I kind of like where they're going of they switch places, and I would kind of be all for if she does get a full redemption arc and Osha.
They totally just parent trapped this and just switched.
Yeah.
Although they didn't like agree on it. It's not exactly like Lindsay Lohan.
I would think it's weird if the Sith guy didn't know. I'm also surprised that they name drop Sith. My big prediction was they just wouldn't call him a Sith because they do that with everything else.
And because most Sith Lords pre-Episode 1 are, like, timelined.
Yeah.
So, which, I mean, they still could be. We don't know this guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
He could be a Plagius. He could be a Bane.
Well, I think we know what Plagius looks like, and he's one of the... he's not an Utapau guy.
Have we seen him since the Disney acquisition?
I don't know.
I don't think we have. I don't think we have since Legends became.
Oh, you
Legends.
know what? No, we have actually. I think there's an episode of Clone Wars where I think we get him as like a vision, like he's like a big cloud guy.
Okay.
There's a lot of big cloud Sith in that one. I think we see him for like a second.
Well, yeah, he's the guy who invented force healing, right? Invented is the wrong word, but
I have no idea.
Okay,
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
It's not a tale that Jedi would tell you.
I'm a fake Star Wars fan. You can all say it.
You've studied lightsaber techniques.
I know. Just
you fucking loser. Anyway, I didn't mean that. I did actually.
You
Give me your lunch money.
You did.
Give me your fucking lunch money.
I'm on a podcast. I know what I am. I'm on a podcast talking about Star Wars.
Yeah. And you're only talking about Star Wars because our comic book podcast got postponed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't get much nerdier than this.
No, you're underneath a Fallout flag.
Yep. Yeah. And my Red Dead Redemption 2 map on the wall. I think the coolest thing I have is my Fuck Dan Schneider hat, which is merch from a band called Carly Cosgrove. Nothing, actually. Nothing at all. Normal guy.
Wow.
It's an ironic hat.
That's weird.
He's actually a really good guy.
I feel like you'd be offended by that then.
No.
Good sport about it?
They mean it in the sexual sense.
Oh. I don't think... Actually, I'm going to go back on that one. I'm going to say no to that one.
No! Just pump the brakes there real quick before we venture into uncharted territory. Troy.
But I was saying, I do like the idea of them switching places. I really think that he should know that this is Osha, and Sol doesn't know that it's not Osha.
Yeah, so May knocks out Osha and cuts her hair and changes clothes with her. Or changes might not even be the right word. I think she just takes like her coat and pants and then
she has the civilian coat.
Yeah, and Osha is just laying on the ground. I guess undergarments are the black ones. It's everything except like the purple coat. Yeah. It's the only thing Osha's not wearing. But the Sith Master goes to see Osha. She's a little wounded in the side. I don't know where that came from. Do you?
Maybe when she gets thrown into a tree. I don't know. I don't know if it was like a slice or...
Yeah, weird. But she's knocked out. When she comes to, because she did not trade places willingly, she might freak out. I think she's smart enough to play along, but I feel like either the Master will know because he'll sense it, or he'll know because she's not the same, like, force powers wise. You know what I mean?
He also has scenes where he's like going into people's minds and stuff already, so I feel like he should just know.
Which I loved that he said the whole point of his helmet was so that Jedi could not read his mind. They couldn't get into his thoughts.
He's very Magneto.
Yeah. Oh, what a great fucking connection. But yeah, that was amazing. I don't think we've seen something similar to that in a very long time, or ever in the Star Wars universe, right? Usually it's people that are just too strong-willed to be manipulated. Actually, no, this was mind reading. I don't even know, man. This is like uncharted territory. I don't fucking know what the Jedi are doing anymore, man. Jedi are fucking crazy. They're making up rules. What do you think his connection is with May? Do you think he's one of the witch people or descendant thereof?
I feel like he probably, well, Soul, even when he took the mask off, Soul didn't really know him, because I was going to say he might have been like another Jedi who was on that mission, who was like the pilot who was in the ship or something. But they went to the ship and they and Soul saw him with his mask off and he still didn't see him. But he did say, you don't remember me?
And then Soul said, I sense something familiar.
Yeah.
They've clearly met before, or he was a pupil of Soul's.
Sure, that's what I'm thinking. But then again, his face reveal, he still didn't really be like, oh, it's you.
Been a while.
Yeah,
and also like
it's been a while.
Since I could. Did you make a music joke?
I just knew the other reference that other people make when that is said.
Oh,
I'm referencing the reference, not the song.
Thank you for putting that song back in my head for the first time in like 20 years.
You're welcome.
You suck. I don't think Soul would have said it out loud because at any point either Osha or May was near him.
Sure.
And I think his relationship to the Master, whatever it may be, is probably one he doesn't want to broadcast. So I'm not too concerned about him not vocalizing his relationship after the mask came off, but he did tell he told Osha, I will explain later, which is like famous last words of anybody. And then they switched places. So now he's going to tell May what she may already know, actually, because the Master may have told her, like, Soul sucks. Here's why. Mm-hmm. So Osha may still be in the dark. She may not know. So I'm curious to see where that goes. We also we have 3 episodes left.
Yep.
It feels like there's not a lot left to wrap up, and you're gonna drag it on for 3 episodes.
Well, like I said, I think that if he reveals him at Soul, and then Osha actually does sort of like, if we get the actual flip of the dark side twin turns light side twin turns dark side, I think that
holy shit.
I think that that's a possibility, and I also think it's a possibility because that's what people were basically saying that the sequel trilogy should have done, and I think that may be a note that was in this.
I would love for that to be real. I would also thoroughly enjoy finding out more about the Jedi and how they fucking suck. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Legends stuff that I consumed as a teenager of Luke Skywalker post-Episode 6, and he's like reading through the archives that he can find and talking with Ghost Yoda, and he's building his new order, and he's like, yeah, the Old Republic had no fucking clue what they were doing. All of this is so wrong, and I'm going to rebuild the order, and this is going to be great. Love is allowed. All these cool things that are going to prevent all these Jedi from like falling to the dark side or having these like dark urges. The dark side's not inherently evil. It's a balance between good and bad. Light and dark. But like, I would love to see more of how the Old Republic just fucking botched it and sucked at Jedi. And I mean, I guess what I said exactly could be incorrect in that they didn't suck at Jedi, because clearly it was the most prosperous time for Jedi ever so far. But, very, very strict, basically like Orthodox religious people, but laser swords.
Yep.
which is fascinating to me, seriously. So I'm very curious to see what these dark secrets are and how deep they go. Because May has that line of they brainwashed you, they turned you against me, and we're family. We can't do that. It's like, oh, maybe they did.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think what it could be is they do sort of like a chart to reference X-Men again, like an Charles Xavier like mind block of like, we just took away this part of your memory because we didn't want it to fuck with you or whatever, or we didn't want you to remember this thing, and then the Sith guy's gonna make her remember a thing, and it's like, oh, they ruined everything, and then that's the sending her down dark side path, and then May with Saul hanging out and plotting to kill him, and him being very, very sorry about whatever he did turns her more light side, and then have them fight at the end, and then either they both go light, or if they just say May is the main character now and Osha's the bad guy now.
I'm very interested to see how they handle it. That would be pretty cool.
Also, shout out to the actress Amanda Stenberg, who is both of them.
Yeah, she's kicking ass. I think we gave her a shout out the first episode of this too.
Yeah,
she's fucking kicking ass.
Well, before we were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like a tall order for playing both of them, and then 3, she's just not in, and then 4 is kind of like the episode's fine. And then
it's fine.
So it's like we didn't really have a whole lot. This is the first time that they're really like in prolonged scenes against each other, and she's fighting herself.
Yeah.
And like obviously it's a stunt double back and forth. They just keep switching clothes back and forth. But it does mean that they had to keep doing all the takes in reverse both ways. It's that whole scene of them tossing each other back and forth is a pretty impressive scene with all things considered.
Oh, for sure. It's not like, particularly new technology.
Sure, we've done it before, but it for some reason this one stood out to me as pretty.
I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but there was a TV show I think in the 70s where like Sally Field played a set of twins, and they would just record her twice every day, and they would just splice the film together, and they made it work, and it was like crazy fucking awesome when it came out. It was like, whoa, magic! That's what they mean by movie magic. I don't know who that character is.
No, there is a movie wizard. There's actually a movie wizard who does that stuff.
There is?
Yeah.
Can
he made Thanos.
Save Lord of the Rings from more shitty movies?
No.
You know there's a movie coming out in December, right?
I do.
I think it's animated, too.
Yeah.
Also, Rings of Power Season 2 is about a month away.
I mean, I liked Rings of Power. I did.
It wasn't bad.
I'm a supporter of Rings of Power.
Remember that scene in The Boys where they shat on Rings of Power? Which I thought was fucking hilarious because they're both owned by Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking awesome. Ugh. Go watch The Boys. As well as The Acolyte, and listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I think after this episode, to at least people who are like Star Wars fans, I would be like, yeah, watch it. Like before, I was watching it, and people were saying like, should I watch this show? And
The Acolyte.
Yes. And my answer was sort of like, yeah, if it was The Boys, I would have been like, yes, absolutely, watch The Boys. What are you doing? Acolyte, I was like, I don't know if I can recommend it. Like, it's still kind of, like, I like the idea of it more than I like it. And then after this one, I'm like, probably watch it if you're a Star Wars fan at least. If you're not a Star Wars fan, I don't know how it's going to hit, but.
Yeah, I mean, fucking watch it. Here's the thing.
It's not Mando. It's not Andor.
It's not. And if you're like 2-3 episodes in and it's just not grabbing you, then stop.
Yeah.
Why do people watch things they don't like, Troy? Just stop it. Life's too short. There's so much content out there. Stop it. Be nice to yourself. Come on, people. That's my pep talk.
And be nice to us. Leave comments and make them nice.
When's the last time we watched something we didn't enjoy?
Oh, well, we did Madam Web. What was after that?
We love
we love
we
Madam Web.
We were in on it.
We're Madam Web fans. We're web heads.
Yeah.
And not the Spider-Man.
And
we don't care
famously a Dakota Johnson apologist.
Sure. What's the last thing that's really stunk? I don't actually know.
Yeah. Right? We usually watch good shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of Wolverine and Deadpool, 3 weeks. 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or Thursday. Yeah, I can do math. So 22 days from now. You excited?
I feel like I should be more excited. Right now, I'm like, every time I see a trailer, I'm like, oh yeah, that is coming, and I am excited for it. I'm like logically excited
too
for
many
it.
trailers.
Maybe. I feel like I feel like I'm just like logically excited for it, but not emotionally. If that makes any sense.
No, I understand what that means. I also feel like I've seen a lot of like just Hugh and Ryan just like doing stuff in uniforms, but
which
like,
we are on
not
a first
part
name.
Of the movie.
We're on a first name basis. With
Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds just like doing shit in costumes, but they're like not.
When are we gonna have them guest star?
Oh God, dude. Oh man. I would cream my pants.
Just two beautiful, talented men.
Yeah. I just like trying to sit on my fucking $100 Walmart futon that we got here and sharing a microphone because I don't have a third 20-foot XLR cable. Oh man, dude. Oh, it'd be great. Imagine Ryan would want to wear my payday mask.
Do you think he'd know what it is?
No.
Okay.
No. But he would like it, and then it would make an appearance in a new movie.
They also both strike me as nice for Hollywood guys, so I'm hoping that nothing ever happens.
Ryan Reynolds
and
is
changes that.
genuinely a nice guy. Hugh Jackman, I can't speak to.
I feel like,
but I feel like he's also great.
I feel like I'm parasocially attributing the vibe that he's nice. Unless something changes and they both suck, in which case they suck. And we think they suck.
I've never interacted with any of these people,
No, you
but
have.
when the writer's strike happened last year,
You can reveal that you're in the Deadpool movie. You can say it.
Fuck you. I would give my left nut for that. But no, during the writer's strike, Ryan Reynolds basically paid all of the late night writing staff across America their salaries. He just continued to pay them for them so that they didn't like lose their houses and not make rent or not be able to afford groceries. The podcast that came out that time, Strike Force 5, it was the 5 late night hosts, Colbert, Myers, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and John Oliver. They did a podcast to kind of like, do something because they had no shows to do. And Ryan Reynolds bought, in big quotes, ad space on every podcast for his alcohol brands. And the guys would just talk about how great they were. And in the first episode, they were like, yeah, Ryan just wanted to like pay all their salaries. And we were like, well, you got to get something out of it. Be an advertiser. So that's what it is. And then he just pays all the writers' salaries for like however long the strike was. What was it, like 7-8 months?
Mm-hmm.
And all those people were able to keep affording their houses and buy food because of Ryan Reynolds' extreme generosity. That's amazing.
That is pretty awesome.
That's also a very big check that he just wrote. And he's still fine. Like, I love Ryan Reynolds, but like, maybe you're too rich. maybe when the revolution comes and we do eat the rich, maybe you should like lock your door and stay home.
Or you could give some of that money to the TB&J podcast and sort of do the same thing for us.
Yeah,
I
endorse
think
us and we won't eat you.
We do about the same level of work as the late night writers, I think, right?
Yeah.
We have that amount of entertainment.
Sure, but we also put in that many hours into the craft.
Sure. For probably for as much credit, to be honest.
I mean, I
not so much as some of them.
I can only speak for myself, but since we record in my house, I'm gonna count every hour I've spent cleaning my house as an hour I spent on the podcast. Yeah. All the time I spent building the studio around you, all the stuff I put up on the walls to dampen sound,
and I don't even know how to edit.
No, you don't. You're kind of useless, bud.
No, I just show up and eat food and drink your sodas, and then I watch your thing and talk about it, and then I leave. That's all I do.
You're kind of fucking useless, bud.
Yeah.
Why do I keep you around?
I don't know, and I'm not going to change until you make me.
Is that it for Star Wars?
I think so. This is just a big fight episode. I do
Pretty
like
much, yeah.
I do like how kinetic the fight was. Like, I feel like we haven't got a real
You said Kinetic, and my first thought was the Xbox Kinect. My second thought was Kinects. Those little, like, building sticks and shit you had as a kid. I don't know why Kinetic Energy was not top of the list.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can continue your train of thought.
But I think that this is the best fight in the show so far, and it's very it's very wacky. Like
There's
it's
not a lot of fights, but yeah, for sure.
I mean, so 1 and 2 both have fights.
You know what? Yeah,
there's fights.
Yeah. I'm wrong. It's fine. Keep going.
But I'm just saying that this fight feels a lot more. This feels like not a super staged, choreographed fight. This really feels like there's people who have swords who are trying to kill each other.
Yeah, and especially because Yorda makes this point as well. The Sith guy is not fighting in any sort of like rule or combat style the Jedi are very familiar with. He's kind of just doing his own thing, which does track with the Sith of like I'm going to fucking kill this guy, and I'm gonna make it happen however I can. Because like when he has Jackie, he like breaks his lightsaber apart and ignites the second half and uses that to stab her while he's using the other half
3 times. He turns it on and off a bunch of times.
Yeah, I was reading a thing online when the episode came out. Apparently, that's like actually well known in some of the Legends stuff, and it's a very dishonorable way to fight. And the Jedi like forbade it in all sort of combat, which also makes me laugh because there's a Joel Haver sketch on YouTube where Obi-Wan and Anakin are dueling, and they discover this exact trick of just turning off your lightsaber to stagger your opponent, or like using it as like an offensive weapon as well. And it's like, that's fascinating that the Jedi knew about this and called it dishonorable, and that it sucks. Did you enjoy? You loved this fight. You fucking.
I do. I think everything in this fight's pretty good. I like Jackie running off, jumping off of the rock and then attacking. I like.
Dwayne was in this.
Yep, he's in there. He's one of the Jedi. He was on the ground.
We're also on a first name basis with Dwayne. I could just call him Dwayne.
They actually couldn't cast him as one of the Jedi because of the clause where he has to win every fight he's in. So they were like, "Oh fuck, how do we get around that?" So he is just the rock that she jumps off of.
Fascinating. God damn, I fucking hate him in every movie he's in. Yeah, that's it for Star Wars, man. I got nothing left.
Yeah, like I said, this is just a real big fight scene episode, with a little bit of what's going on with the past kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. I imagine we're gonna get a flashback episode very soon, where we learn about like Soul's dark past or whatever. That'll be fun. Maybe.
And the last flashback episode was pretty bad.
I hope it's better than the witches.
Also, the last flashback, this episode kind of makes the flashback episode look worse, actually, because
it's like, you could have been doing this the whole time.
You could have been doing that the whole time. Also, it's making me realize that we're still getting hinted at and teased at of what stuff happened in the past, and it's like, then we didn't need a flashback episode anyway because you didn't tell us what happened in the past. Yeah, that's what a flashback episode's for.
Yeah, you didn't tell us jack shit, and we're less knowledgeable than we were the first time.
I'm actually kind of convinced that this show is pretty good if you skip 3.
I mean, yeah, 3 doesn't really give us much other than like a little tease of the girl's backstory. Mm-hmm. Like we don't like. You could have just told us, our mom was a witch. We were created with black magic.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. Like that's it. That's all we needed. We didn't need 45 minutes of this, or 38, or whatever it was. Either way, that was Star Wars: The Acolyte Episode 5. I can't wait for Episode 6 to come out in like an hour.
And he does say the word "an acolyte," so there you go.
He does title drop the show. Yeah. And Peter Griffin points to the screen like, "Oh, okay."
I was gonna say Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, that would have been a better joke. I have no energy today, bud. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I
thought we did
tired.
Okay. I thought you did fine.
There's a baby kitten that I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, you got a new little guy, new little dude.
Dude, it's
he's my new favorite Ackerman.
Excuse me?
Huh?
He's not an Ackerman. He's a Getchin.
Okay, well, probably also my favorite Getchin, to be honest with you.
Wow, I'm telling my brother-in-law you said that, even though you don't know him.
I don't know him at all.
Nah, you don't. Anyway, that was it for the podcast. We're going to end before I fall asleep sitting here. Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, share, all those fun things. Tip your waitress. Don't drink and drive. Stay in school. Unless you think school is for fools.
And in case you really want to drink and drive.
No.
You don't think so? We're not going to endorse drinking and driving on
like a Coke, yeah, but not like, a Budweiser.
But what if you look really cool doing it?
How cool are we talking?
Pretty fucking cool.
Like the The Marlboro camel.
Yeah, also smoke. Smoking makes you look cool too.
I think his name was literally Joe Cool the camel, right?
Then I say that's probably pretty cool.
I'm so tired.